Hello, everyone. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Let me set up. Let me get myself together here. Um, Give me 1 second. I Blessings, blessings. Give me 1 second. Come on in. Just come on in. I'm just setting up all my other devices. I'm excited about this. So you guys just come on in and welcome to our virtual meet and greet. Good evening, ma'am. Glad to have you on. Let me finish setting up all my other devices and then I'll be ready. Just give me 1 second. Just make sure everything is off. I can monitor things from a couple of different avenues. So I welcome you guys. Come on in, come on in. Share with your family and friends that might still be on the wall and they're not sure who they want to vote for yet. That's what this virtual meet and greet is all about. You can tag people in it and invite them to join. So while you guys are tagging people, I am going to do the same thing and tag some people in this. Uh, um, I'm just tagging some people. Y'all go ahead and tag people. Um, and that way, once they see your tag, they will also be able to come on. So let's make sure that we get people on. There you go. Y'all steady coming in. That's good. That's good. That's good. I am ready for this. Uh, uh, there it is. Steady tagging people. Y'all continue to tag people and let them know. Y'all come on in. Come on in. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited about this time. Um, Continue to tag and share. This gives you an opportunity. If you know somebody that's might be on the fence and don't know who they want to vote for, this is your opportunity to put them uh, on here, and that way they can get an opportunity to also ask their questions. Uh, and so we'll get the show started in a second. Um, let's see. Um, okay, y'all just keep coming in, keep coming in. We're just gonna tag a couple of more people. I am, and then that way they can come on in. And I want you guys to do the same thing. Tag people, come on in. So we just glad you guys is coming in. This is our virtual meet and greet. Hey, Pastor Sheena. tag some of your friends into this video that they get to ask questions on. They get a chance to ask questions. I'm just looking at some of them. Name is not showing up on there, but I can see it here. Bessie, thank you for sharing with people as well. All right. So while people are steady sharing and steady bringing people in, I want to welcome everybody to our virtual meet and greet. I am Dr. David D. King, your next Lieutenant Governor. I'm excited that you guys are coming on. Here's the ground rules for the meet and greet. This meet and greet is for Q&A, asking me questions. You get to know me as a candidate, as a person. We will not allow it to be interfered with or interrupted in any way. Somebody want to bring something else to try to change or move the meet and greet in any other direction. That will not happen. So right now, we're just coming on. So what I want you to do, everybody that's watching, can you please type in what part of Wisconsin are you at? Just type in what area of Wisconsin that you are in, so we'll know exactly from what side of Wisconsin people are watching. So if you can type in the area, the city, or the county, it doesn't matter. Just let us know exactly where you're watching from, and then we're going to get started with questions and answers. So if you guys can start to type in, okay, I see Lake Mills is in the house. So we got Lake Mills here. I see Lake Mills. Thank you, Lake Mills. Anybody else? Y'all just type in exactly where you from. I hear somebody say same as Tara. We got Sheboygan in the house. We got Sheboygan in the house. Welcome, Sheboygan. We got Wood County in the house. Welcome, Wood County. I love Wood County. I love Sheboygan. I love every part of Wisconsin. I love Lake Mills. Y'all keep sharing. Let me know where you at, where you coming in at, and then we're gonna get the show on the road. Then we're going to get the show on the road. We also got people watching from YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So I want to welcome everybody from every area, from everywhere. We want to thank you guys. So as you coming in, just tell us where you coming in from. We want to hear from you, and then we'll start the meet and greet. So we are grateful that you guys are here. Sheboygan, Wood County, Jefferson County, because Lake Mills is in Jefferson County. Continue to tag people as they come on. I'm excited. I feel honored and blessed to be able to do this. Earlier today, I was able to go to 2 church service and receive 2 awesome word from 2 different men of God, and I thank God for that. Had a little fellowship afterwards. I'm grateful for that, and just got chance to spend time with my wife and just fellowship. So it was a beautiful, beautiful time. So we just thank God for today. So I believe that we are able to get this party started. So if you guys will go ahead and type in your questions, and I will begin to start answering questions at this time. And so while I'm waiting on questions, I do want to say that we got less than 3 weeks before the primary, and we really have to begin to look at candidates, but we also have to, at the same time, as we're looking at candidates, we have to move our emotions out of the way, and we got to really, really think, because we have to put up the strongest people that can go against Tony Evers and whoever come out the Democrat primary, because of the fact that we can't afford to give Tony Evers 4 more years. So we have to. Okay, what made you? That's the first question, and let me see where that's coming from. Okay, that's coming from Sheboygan. What made me wanted to run for lieutenant governor was that I saw that as a perfect fit for me at the time, because that's the office of influence. It's not an office where I'm making any laws, um, writing any bills. It was an office of influence where I can make sure that the people of Wisconsin are being taken care of. I can make sure and agitate and agitate for things, um, and be an advocate for stuff like removing the DPI race out of the spring into the fall, so we can get a strong conservative to run for that office, so we can get rid of Common Core, CRT, SEL once and for all, go back to reading, writing, and arithmetic. I can advocate for parents getting their rights back, that they revisit the child abuse law and put a line in there, the difference between discipline and abuse. I'll be able to be that assistant to the governor. I know business and I know the people, and the government needs to be connected to both. They need to be connected to business, but they also need to be connected to the people and making sure they're doing what's best for the people of Wisconsin. I believe that after seeing 2020, we had no true leadership. We had nobody with a backbone. We had nobody stand up for the people. Nobody stood up for the churches. Nobody stood up for our children, medical freedom. So I decided to get in the race, because we can march, we can protest, we can hold up signs all day long, but nothing will change until we put people on the inside that is going to do right for we the people, that we do right for we the people, and that we make sure that we're not left behind again. We got left behind in 2020. They didn't pay us no attention. They didn't think about us. They got to telling us who's central and who's not. The same stores that sold the same thing Walmart sold was forced to close, but the church was forced to close, and nobody told us to stay open. I want to say welcome to Portage County, that's in the house too. So we thank you for being in the house as well. Um, and as lieutenant governor, I have to make sure that I'm ready at any moment if the governor goes down, that I will take the state and run it right. I will pull out the 10th Amendment and tell the federal government and Joe Biden to kiss our grits. We don't need you. Tell the Department of Education, we don't need your money. We're going to run our education system from in-house, from the state level. I think we need leadership that is going to be bold. What do I mean by that? We had leadership and all they wanted was power. We need true leadership that's going to empower the people. And I want to make sure you're empowered when it comes to your health. I want to make sure you're empowered when it comes to making decisions for your family, not being put out of the doctor office because they're not asking you, but they're asking your child, do you want your parents in there? So I want to make sure that we're focusing on the people now and not on ourselves. So that is why I jumped in the race for lieutenant governor, that we got no more sheep, but we got lions in the office. We need lions. We need bold people that is going to make decisions that is not popular. That's the kind of leadership we need right now. We need leadership that's going to make decisions that is not popular. If we're making decisions that's popular, then we're not leading right. So this is one of the reasons why I am in this race. And I'm not in it, excuse me, that people like me, but I'm in it that people will trust me, that I would do the right thing for you, your children, your grandchildren. And I'm here to save the next 4 generations. So that's why I'm in this race as lieutenant governor. And that's why I will be your next lieutenant governor. So y'all come on with the questions, get the questions going. I love your questions. I'm so dramatic. Thank you, Kim. You know, I'm just passionate about the fight that I'm in. You know why I'm passionate? Because I have purpose. Purpose produces passion. My purpose is to make sure the people of Wisconsin um, have the best opportunity in life, and I'm passionate about it. And so when you hear me, you hear my heart. And hearing my heart, you know that I'm in it for you guys. And I can promise something: I would never sell your trust. So you don't have to worry about me selling your trust as well. And so purpose produces passion. And that's why I'm passionate. And that's why I'm a man of character. I walk in my character. And character never need a image consultant. Oh, okay. What relationship does the lieutenant governor have with the governor? Well, it's supposed to be a very good relationship, a good working relationship. And it's supposed to be, the lieutenant governor job is to be able to complement the governor as well. And I'm a man in authority, but I'm also a man under authority. So I know how to submit myself to authority, long as that authority is doing what's right for the people. If the authority is not doing what's right for the people, then I have the obligation to the people of God, to the people of God, to the people of Wisconsin, to stand up and say what's right. Okay, somebody else. I didn't see Tyra's question, so she's gonna have to try to put it back up. Let me see if I can go up and see if she has a question that I missed. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I'll go back to your question, Tyra. So the lieutenant governor job is to assist the governor, make sure the governor's vision is 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 accomplished. Excuse me, that the governor vision is accomplished, but also understand under the governor that and the governor and lieutenant governor has to work together so that if the governor goes down, the lieutenant governor can continue to take the ship in the right direction. You don't need a lieutenant governor that's going to make a U-turn and go the opposite way. But at the same time, you need that lieutenant governor to be that check and balance to make sure the governor do exactly what the governor says. And if you are a good lieutenant governor, you're going to be, you don't mind holding the governor accountable for what they said they would do for we the people. Now, let me go back to Tyrus and says, oh, that's a good question. Well, let me start off with this, and then I see Kim question. So let me start off with this. Okay, let me go to this one first. My professional experience is I manage $1 million companies. And in managing $1 million company, my job was to go fix them. Whatever they sent me, my job was going to fix something. I had to go fix it. It was broken, I fixed it. So my experience in fixing things and making the tough decisions, and I always used to tell them when they send me somewhere, you might not like my method, but you're gonna love the results. So trust me So whatever I do, trust me that I'm doing it to better the company. Trust me that I'm doing it to make sure that we get the best profit and not the loss. That I stop the bleeding. That I bring us out of the red. So I'm gonna make some tough decisions. Your phone is gonna ring. Trust me when I make those decisions. My personal experience is I grew up in a house with 6 boys, so I know how to handle pressure. I got tough skin. Um, I learned how to love on people because my mom, when I was coming up, my mom at the time was a single mom raising 7 kids by herself, but she opened her door to any and everybody. So that servanthood I got from my mom. I experienced that servanthood. So going into office, I become a servant to the people, and that's something that a lot of us uh, should be doing. That's in office. Anybody that's running for office supposed to be having a mindset to serve the people and not the people serving them. So uh those areas of my life, from the professional area, becoming a problem solver, making the tough decisions, empowering people, because I made my job easier in the professional level by empowering the people that was under me. So I really never did a lot of the work because I empower other people so they can do the work. So that way they'll know how to take over when it was time for them to take over. So I will always empower people. I'm not intimidated by people. I'm not intimidated by whatever talent gift you might have. I'm confident in who I am. That's why I'm not intimidated. Even with the governor, I'll be able to stand toe to toe and call out some things if it's not right. So my experience in the business world, making the tough decision, my experience in fighting with my brothers, they love me, but they help prepare me for a time like this. That because right now we need somebody with tough skin. We need somebody that can fight. We need somebody that can stand up for the people. We don't need no more softies in office. We need strong people in office that the decision you make is going to cause a fight. And I'm built for the fight. So now let me address this question. Well, first of all, I'm going to press that we remove that totally. The health department should never have that much power. What the health department should do is the health department should bring what they're fearing to the governor. For example, let's take COVID, for example. The health department should have brought it to the governor, and then what the governor should have did research and have people do research, so you have both sides of the story. And then you present both sides of the story to the people of Wisconsin and allow the people of Wisconsin to make the decision for their families, and not the health department should not never ever, and I say it again, never ever make decision for anybody family. Each family should have all the information that each family would be able to make the decision for themselves. So when anytime the government or the health department is making a decision for your family, then that means they have control over your family. As your next lieutenant governor, I'm going to agitate or influence them to release you from being hostage to the health department and anybody else that's trying to control your life. So we don't need the health department to do any of that. So thank you. Hey, Miss Tammy, it's good to see you. Let me see. Tammy, tell everybody where you from. Well, first of all, no other state will be able to come in and force families in here. Hey, we got Madison in the house. Yay! Um, welcome, Madison. We got Madison. We got Sheboygan. We got Portage. We got Jefferson County, Lake Mills, and we has one more. What was the other one? Hold on. Wood County, and we got Wood County. So let me go back to this. First of all, what we would do is we will make sure that the family court system itself got a lot of work it needs to be done anyway. But if a family is in Wisconsin, they need to go by they need to be governed by the laws of Wisconsin, and we will make sure that we get any family any all that they need so that no other state or the federal government will overreach in the state of Wisconsin. We will stand on our own. We have to, but the thing about it is we have to know about these things. That's why all of my campaign literature, my personal cell phone, because I want to stay connected to the people of Wisconsin. So when you have issues, you're not being talking to a voicemail. You're not talking, or you don't get that stupid letter. Thank you for your input. No, we want to be able to deal with you and help you with the things that you would do. We will make sure that the AG and all the rest do their job to make sure that the people of Wisconsin is safe. Yep, we will make sure that our AG make sure nobody cross over and do anything they shouldn't be doing. The problem with vouchers and school choice is that the DPI still have a stronghold on the curriculum. The money is going. Well, a couple of things that we can do with the DPI. First, we can do is we can take away federal dollars and tell the federal government we don't need them, because the DPI is only doing what's being forced by the federal government. The federal government give the money, and that money comes with strings attached. So what we need to do is take a bold statement and stand on our own. Wisconsin should be able to stand on its own to take care of our education system with no strings attached. That way, we will not have to deal with any of the backdoor deals when it comes to DPI. For example, with the school lunch, they're telling them now with the school lunch, a girl who thinks she's a boy should be able to shower with the boys, and the boys who think he's a girl should be able to shower with the girls. And not only that, if you don't do that, then you can't get the lunch money. So, so the thing that we need to do is we need to do that now. Or what the governor can do, and we can talk with the governor, and the governor, just like the treasurer office is stripped with a power and authority, just like the secretary of state office been stripped, we should be able to look at that office and strip it as well, because our children should not be having anything forced on them but reading, writing, and arithmetic. Nothing else should be forced on on our children. Nothing else. They should, first graders, second graders should not even know anything about voting or sexuality. So we need to just take a strong stance when it comes to our children curriculum. And to do that, you need bold leaderships into doing that. So can you just hit that one time? It's spinning. It's too cold in here now. Okay. Just tap it. So the thing about it is, what we need to do is we got to get control, and getting control means we got to make some bold moves. We got to make some bold statements. Is it going to cause some trouble? Is it going to cause some problem? Yes, it is. But if we really care about our children, then we would take care of that. Do you have any? Well, I can't really say I have any complaints or criticism on anyone or any of the lieutenant governor candidates. I just think that they did not use that office to the best of its ability. It's just like a person who has an iPhone. If you never read the book on the iPhone, you would never use an iPhone till it's full capacity. You would just only use it to dial, to text, to get the internet. But there's a lot of things you can do with an iPhone. You can control your house with an iPhone. So there's so much stuff you can do with that iPhone that a lot of people don't know, because what? They don't never read the book. So it's just like your car. You get a new car, you just start it up. You just start it up, but you never really read the book to see everything that comes with the car. So I won't criticize them. I just say they did not realize what they had in their hands as lieutenant governor. I know some people look at it and say, oh, it's just the next step up to the governor. No, 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 no. That is a office of influence. You can do a lot in that office for the people of Wisconsin. You can do a lot in that office for business owners. You can do a lot in that office for the military, for all of our vets that's sleeping under a bridge. There's a lot of things you can do in that office. So I wouldn't criticize or have a complaint about anybody. I just say they didn't know what they had. They didn't use it to the fullness. And so, when you understand who you are as an individual and you confident in you and you get an opportunity to sit in a position of influence, then you know exactly what you can do in that office. And a lot of them did not know what they can do in that office, and that's why they didn't do too much. So I would never criticize somebody that's in that office. But I would criticize what was taking place 2020 and 2021 is that we saw our elected officials give us PPP. And PPP stands for piss poor for performance, handling the crisis. Nobody stood up, nobody said anything, nobody did any research, nobody said keep going, nobody said anything. They just went along to get along. And this is why we're messed up right now. So I would never criticize. I'll just say they didn't use it to the fullness. So, any other questions? Oh, y'all making it easy on me tonight. I thank y'all for it. But this is well, I will influence the legislators. I'm not going in to be a enemy to anybody. I'm going to work together. I'm going in to work together with everybody. And you can't be an enemy and expect to get anything done. You have to be in the office of influence, and you got to understand your influence. Uh, you got to be able to go in and talk, share, and influence. But if you don't, then if they don't want to do what's right, then that's when the agitator comes out, and then you get to expose some people for not doing what they should be doing. Of course, um, for both, they're very dear to me. Sex trafficking, and we're watching people that's vulnerable, whether young or old, get caught up in sex trafficking. We see children getting on the internet because they're going through something, and somebody they think they're talking to another kid, they're talking to an adult. They ask them to meet them, they buy them a ticket. Um, you know, and not only that, but you're finding out there's a lot of political people, judges, school teachers, everybody preying on children. Homelessness is a big issue too. But the thing about homelessness is, uh, on the homelessness, there's a lot of reasons why a lot of people are homeless. So we got to just everybody is not homeless because of mental issue. You have some people that just down on their luck. Um, and they just ended up homeless. We need to be able to help them get back on their feet. Some has mental illness. We need to get them the proper help that they need. A lot of homeless, especially the young people, they're becoming homeless because once they come out of foster care and they're 18, they have nowhere to go. So there's a lot of different areas of homelessness that we need to take care of. We need to take a look at. We need to make sure there's a lot of organizations that's out there right now that's out there right now for um, people that is coming out of foster care, but they don't have the resources that they need. So I will make sure that we will advocate for them to get the resources so they can help um, more people, so we can help get everybody off the street if that wants to come. And I found out a lot of people when we do deal with homelessness, a lot of people just like living, being homeless. They literally like just being homeless and traveling from one state to another, from one city to another. Um, and then you got some that really needs help. So so yeah, that's what we need to deal with, and in those areas. Any plans for that? Right now, women are being charged for crimes, and Johns are walking with a small fine. Yes, it does need to be changing because if a man is out there, if a John is out there uh, soliciting women, they should they should get the same. To me, they should get the same charge as the woman. I don't think they should just get a fine and get and everybody know they need to be dealt with as well. They need to they need to get the same punishment as the woman. I mean, because he's buying it, she's delivering it. Same thing. So if she get charged, he should get charged. I think, and that's one of the things too. That'll stop a lot of these guys from coming to the street. And you notice a lot of the Johns are professionals. A lot of them. A lot of them live in suburbs and come into the inner city. I mean, you got to look at where these Johns is coming from. So so we do got to change some of the laws to make it harder on a lot of people, because I mean that's exactly what we need to do. We got to change some laws because some people get slapped on the hand and some people just get a fine. And some of those Johns, what they do is they out there to help human trafficking because they think don't nobody care about a prostitute, or they think nobody cares about that woman that's selling her body to get the drugs. So they come out there to the streets and just start snatching people up because they think nobody care, and it'll take a long time before somebody realize that um they are missing. So yes, so we need to really, really. Yes, they are victims, Kim. I'm in agreement with you. So that's what happens. So we have to make it hard on everybody. Let's see. Okay. Well, you know that when we start talking about healthcare, most of that is a federal issue. I think that you know when they did for me when they did the Obamacare, a lot of people that was working they got messed up in the healthcare department. Now with the healthcare the way it is, I thank God that I have a holistic doctor. I thank God that I have a master herbalist because I don't know if I would trust the healthcare system right now. So I thank God I got those people in my life that is help keeping me healthy. Let's see, the women are being trafficked through. Yep. So you're right, Kim. That's why I say the man's ought to um also deal with that. If Social Security wasn't being robbed. Well, let's talk about that for a minute because I don't think a lot of people understand the Social Security um, thing. Social Security, you have a group of people that's working, right? And they putting into Social Security so when they get old. But then you also have a group of people that's coming behind them that's supposed to be working to put in Social Security so that way that money continue to flow. But then when you got generations gap where nobody's putting into Social Security, I mean, you got to look at how Social Security was designed. And again, that's a federal thing, but go look and see how it was designed to work, and then you'll understand. Let's see what she said. Well, that Kim, that is right. That's why we have to have places where women can go as we starting to fight the sex trafficking and we start to get women that away from the sex trafficking. We got to have a place for them to go, so not only their Social Security or anything like that, but first of all we got to get them in a mental state of being free from the trafficking, because you can just imagine all the stuff they went through being caught up in sex trafficking. So we got to have a whole uh, what I want to call a rehab place, or detox place or reprogramming place for women, so they'll be able to function, so they can be able to get back on their feet, so they can be able to recover. So if we just give money and stuff back, and mentally they're not together, then we still lose out um, on what can happen for them. So when we're talking about restoring them and bringing them back out of sex trafficking, then we also got to make sure we can prepare for them physically, mentally, spiritually, and then financially, because they need to be able to do it. So what's up, Cornelius? Tell the people what part of the state you're from. So when we're talking about, because we got a lot of issues, a lot of things that we got to address and we got to deal with. Well, I was able to adapt with let me put that back up first. I was able to adapt. We know Wisconsin. What part of Wisconsin, sir? We know Wisconsin. What part? Um, you know, when you're going into a job as lieutenant governor, you got to be an adapter. You got to be able to flow. You got to be able to adapt. You got to uh, be able to mingle and meet with everybody um, without feeling intimidated or anything. And when I was in corporate America, managing $1 million companies, I could hang out. I could hang out with my boss, the CEO, and everything, and we can go to the bar and we can drink Top Chef and we can have business conversations. And when I leave them, I can go right into the hood and hang at my local bar and drink some Corbel or Old English 800 and have a street conversation with the average person on the street. So you got to be able to adapt to whatever environment that you're going into, and you got to have enough wisdom to understand the environment that you're going into. And so as we do that, as we go into uh different states to try to talk to come. Yes, I used to drink, Stacy. Don't act like I was born with the Holy Ghost, okay? We're not going to play innocent. I told you, you get the real me, unadulterated me. This is me. So don't even go there with that one. That we ain't going to act all innocent. So, but you got to be able to adapt. You got to know your environment. You got to know what to talk to. If I didn't know business, then if I didn't know business, then I can't go talk to a business owner. If I never dealt with the books, if I never understood labor, if I never understood uh, bottom dollar, if I didn't never understood inventory, then how will I be able to help? I teach a class called. I created a class called Man Minute, and I show employees how much money they cost the company when they get off the line and they go to the bathroom. I show them how much money they cost the company when they stop the machine from running. I teach business owners. I got a program that I teach business owners that's called Leveling Out the House, and I show them how to run a business and what area of their business are their best fit in. So you gotta know those kind of things, but you also gotta know the average person and the struggle that they're dealing with in life, and be able to be that problem solver. See, here's the thing: it is government doesn't create jobs. So anytime somebody come to you talking about we're going to create jobs, tell them stop lying to you, because government does not create jobs. Government is supposed to get out of the way of businesses, remove the fees, remove the restrictions, remove the regulations so businesses can create jobs. So when people tell you the government is going to create jobs, they're lying to you, because it's not the government job to create jobs. It's the government job to get out of the business's way so the businesses can create the jobs. So when we're talking about it, we got to know the things that we're talking about. And as a lieutenant governor, you gotta understand that you are the second in line to be the CEO of the state. And if you've never been a CEO, if you never ran anything, how can you govern the state? People always say, well, we're going to shrink government. We're going to do this and do this. Well, when you start shrinking government without solving problems, guess what happens? Single moms with their children falls through the crack. That veteran that's sleeping in the alley or under a bridge falls through the crack. That individual that have mental illness, they fall to the crack, because all we worried about the dollar and not the people. We need a government that is going to be concerned about the people. And here's the thing: as we start to solve problems, we start to shrink government. You can shrink government by solving problems, because as you start solving problems, you don't need that many people in a department anymore. All you got to do is start solving the problems. As we solving problems, as we remove and give parents their rights back, you give parents their rights back, and you make a line between discipline and abuse, and you will never complain about those kids running the streets anymore, stealing cars, because now the parents have their rights back. Now what we're telling the parents, go ahead and be a parent. But if that parent try to be a parent right now, then Child Protection Agency is going to knock on their door. So we got to untie their hands and allow parents to become parents. Because once we do that, then you'll see a lot of things changing. But until then we're going to always have these issues. So we have to get to a place where we are now allowing parents to be parents, and to assist the parents. For example, watch this. The system is so broken that if a mother of 3 decide to go get a job and get off the government plantation, then master punish her. Master take her child care, master take her food stamps, and she can't survive. So what does she do? She comes back to the plantation, right? So what we should do, instead of punishing them because they want better, they want to have a better life, we ought to celebrate them and assist them. Don't take all the child care away. Don't take all the food stamps away. We wean them off. You got people that has to be weaned off of things. So what we do is we take a little away every time they prosper. We take a little away until they are able to stand on their own. You don't punish them because they want a better life. You don't punish them and you're right, kick them out of Section 8. You don't punish them. You gotta wean them off because look how long they've been on the system. It's like an addiction. So you gotta work with them and wean them off the system, and then we can start to shrink it up. But you can't just drop it because the moment you start dropping, you got all of these people that's falling through the crack, and that's one of the biggest problems that we have right now. So, whew, I love this. Y'all come on with them. We got Brown Deer, we got Wood County. I just saw somebody come on. Um, those of you that just came on, tell us what side of Wisconsin you on, so we'll know what side you guys is on. We glad that y'all with us tonight. We got another Lake Mills in the house. Yeah, Lake Mills. Okay. Um, so y'all come on and throw y'all questions. This is what this all about. If you know somebody that's still in the middle, they don't know who to vote for, bring them on, let them ask their questions, and we can go from there. This is what this is all about. This is where you guys get to. Oh, we got Franklin in the house. Hey, Franklin. So this is where you guys get to ask the question, get to know me as a candidate, as a person. Um, and we just want to make sure. Oh, I see J Rod. J Rod, tell us where you're from. J Rod is on the plate, is in here. So y'all just hit us with your questions. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited. And this is what it's all about. It's about you guys getting a chance to ask questions so you can make a right decision on voting for lieutenant governor. That you get to, a lot of times you see us at a Lincoln Day dinner and we get 3 to 5 minutes to say something, 2 minutes to say something. That's not enough time to know anybody. I call that speed dating. We don't want to speed date tonight. We want to slow it down, and we want to take our time. Speed dating, people move too fast. We want to slow it down, and we want you guys to be able to ask your questions, your concerns, share your concerns, and let's talk. Let's talk. So come on with your questions. I see J Rod on here. J Rod, I know you got a question. J Rod always have those good questions, because this is how you get to know an individual. This is how you get to know. We can be intimate, virtually intimate with one another, and you get to know me because what you see right now is what you're going to get after I'm elected. I'm not changing. This is who I am. Um, Character does not need an image consultant, so I'm not trying to um, stroke you or anything like that. I tell you what we need to hear. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. So come on and hit me with your best questions. I'm good. What would you do better than the current lieutenant governor? Oh, that's a good, easy question. I will be seen more than the next lieutenant governor. I will be advocating for the people. I will not be advocating for a lobby group. I will be able to you will be able to reach me, you'll be able to talk to me. My literature has uh let me put my contact information on here. My literature has my personal number, so you guys will always be able to get in contact with me. I will not be changing numbers after I'm in office. you know I would just ask you guys at a certain time of the night. Respect that so I can have my time with my wife at night. I don't want to hug my wife and cuddle my wife and the phone ring and then somebody asks me about garbage. Because I'm gonna tell you to call your alderman for the garbage. But I just, nighttime is nighttime. But I just want to make sure that we do something that is going to be, I will be seen, I will be heard more, I will be doing things that needs to be done for the people of Wisconsin. I'm your servant. I'm asking you to hire me as your servant. I will be accessible to the people of Wisconsin. What do you see the biggest issue facing law enforcement state? Okay, first of all, the biggest problem we have right now is media. Media is always trying to keep law enforcement and the community at war. So I think that one of the things that we need to do is we need to have a sit down, and there's some repentance needs to go on. And what do I mean by that? Every cop is not bad. I know plenty of them. I know plenty of people that are sheriffs or used to be sheriff. They're not bad, but you do got some that are bad. Just like every pastor is not a good pastor. You got some pastors that are bad. All teachers are not good teachers. You got some teachers that's bad. So those bad ones make it hard for the good ones. But I think we need to have a sit down and build the relationship between community and the law enforcement, so that way people can understand. And sometimes I think law enforcement need to take some people in the community on a ride along so people can see what they deal with on a daily basis. I think, people used to say to me, man, I'm tired. I said, okay, I need you to hang with me for a day. I need you to travel with me for one day. One day. And when I share my schedule, they be like, oh no, I don't even see how you do it. Then, you know, sometimes people think you don't do anything. Sometimes people think you uh law enforcement don't go through anything. I used to be a part of a group that I used to pray with, uh, Wise of the Badge. And I used to pray with them and everything. They go through a lot. State troopers go through a lot. District attorney need to do their job right. There are some district attorneys that is not doing their job right. We know they're not doing their job right. They tell you, share with us, it'll be confidential, and then they tell people who said it. I think they need to do their job right. And what I mean by right, I mean right straight down the line. Whoever do the crime, no matter what uh, ethnic group they're a part of, if you do the crime and 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 everything, that mean what I mean by that is this: if you black and you steal a car and the sentence is 5 years, then you should get 5 years. If you white and you steal a car and the sentence is supposed to be 5 years, you get 5 years. No matter what ethnic group you come out of, you should be able to the playing field should be the same. And right now it's not. You got one that'll get 5 years, you got one to get 2 years probation. So it got to be even. Sheriffs, I want us to have constitutional sheriffs all across the state of Wisconsin. I want to see 72 constitutional sheriff, so they and that know the Constitution and that will do their job. So, for example, you have some counties that if a parent goes to a school board meeting, they call them terrorists. I want the sheriff there not to arrest the parents, but to let the parents exercise their right and tell them how they feel. So I need 72 constitutional sheriff in the state of Wisconsin, and then we will have things done right. So, so right now we don't have 72 constitutional sheriffs. We don't have it, but we need to have 72 constitutional sheriffs. I want to thank you for taking my son under trusted wing. Okay, I like that trusted wing. Well, thank you so much for that. Let me see. What is this one? Y'all keep them coming, though. Okay, let's talk about legalizing it because everybody don't want it legalized. Some people don't want it criminalized, but everybody don't want it legalized. So those are conversations that you got to sit down and really have a conversation. For example, in Colorado, medical people that got a medical card for marijuana in Colorado cannot carry a pistol. They cannot carry a pistol if they get medical. If people want recreational, you got to sit down and have that conversation. Why? Let's say you smoke marijuana or ate it in an edible on Friday. You go to work Monday and have an accident. You know, when you're on the job and you have an accident, where do they send you first? They send you to the hospital. If they find it in your system, do you get fired? Even if you legalize it. Because remember, if they find alcohol in your system, you get fired. So if they find it in your system, do you get fired? So now we got to have a conversation. Do we got to test it to see how when the last time they ingested it? Everything. So when people do that, first let's sit down and have a conversation and deal with the pros and cons. Not just say let's do something. We got to have the pros and cons on what it, on everything about it. So and tell people are willing to sit down and make a blueprint of what it would look like, how it would benefit. You know, those I know people that's in pain. They take it because they're in pain and it helps their pain. Okay, but is that person also willing to give up their guns like they do in Colorado? I mean, because they're always going to be under the influence because they want to keep the pain away. And those are the conversations that we got to have. And everybody just want us to rush to do something, but nobody want to put it in play what it will look like. So we gotta sit down and see what it will look like before we do anything. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine came down in Milwaukee and we started doing concealed carry classes for the people of Milwaukee. And when we started doing the concealed and carry classes, when we got to the part justified or unjustified shootings, and what they thought was justified ended up being unjustified, a lot of people say, wow, now that I understand the law better, I don't even know if I want to carry a gun. So we have to sit down, put it together, what it will look like, and then try to come back and present it. But we can't just present something and we don't even know what it looked like. And I don't want to touch it too much until what it's going to look like. And this is the problem that nobody have. Everybody wants something done, but they didn't know what it looked like. Let me give you a prime example. Same-sex marriage. Everybody wanted, well, not everybody, some people wanted same-sex marriage. Okay, you got same-sex marriage. Now look what happened. You got transgender fighting in the schools. You got women marrying their animals. You got a man marrying their animals. Now you got pedophiles saying that they should have the right to fall in love with. When you open that door, you open it so wide. So we have to sit down and really look at this thing. We got to really look at how it's going to be sold. We got to look at who's going to grow it. There's a lot of that we have to look at when it comes to that. So, oh yeah, Chisholm got to go. I mean, I'm 100% in agreement with you. John Chisholm need to be gone. Chisholm needs to get out of Wisconsin. Matter of fact, when we get rid of him, he needs to go. He needs to go. I'm trying to catch up, you guys. Y'all is good. I like this. I like this. Yeah, we do. We need to make sure we see. One of our biggest problem is We like people, so we want to vote them in because we like them, but they might not be suited for the job. Has anybody ever tried to start a business and you had a friend and you felt sorry for them, so you gave them a job knowing they was not qualified for that job, and you suffered behind that? That's what we've been doing when we elect people in office that is not qualified. And you're absolutely right. That is true. Well, see, that's that. Okay, let me say this. Even with that, you got to understand. Even with that, you got to understand. You know, you have to look at this thing from for what it really is. And I think the problem is we're not we move in emotions. The Bible teaches us to sit down. The Bible tells us to sit down and write the cost. Know what it's going to cost, know what it's going to take before we do something. Because that's how the Democrat won 2020 in Wisconsin. They put weed on the ballot, but nobody thought about what was going to play. And today we still doesn't have it legal. So, okay, let's see. So the thing about it is, you guys, you gotta look at it. Who's going to be, even if they legalize it, who's going to be able to grow it? And what's the requirement for you to grow it? And who's going to be able to sell it? And what's the requirement of you selling it? I mean, there's a lot of things that goes along with that. And so I'm not a legislator, so thank God I don't have to fight that fight. Any other question? Anybody that just came on, let us know what part of the state that you are on, because we want to acknowledge everybody on tonight. We got Wood County, we got Sheboygan County, we got Portage, we have Jefferson, we got Milwaukee County um, on here. Is there any other counties that's on here tonight? You guys can continue to just ask questions, and I'm ready to continue to ask them. I just don't want you guys to turn it into a debate where y'all debating each other and not asking me questions. So that's for another show. So do most of you guys know that this past week the NEA, the National Education Association, had just had their convention in Chicago, and they voted. They was voting to. Yep, I see Dane County too. They voted to remove the word mother, father, mama, daddy out of the school, and out of the school, and they're going to switch the word to birth parent, birth parent. And then they also was voting to mask your children and force the vaccine. Oh, I can't say that word on your child. So, uh, you guys, we got to pay a close attention. See, most of the time we're talking about money, we're talking about taxes, we're talking about wasteful spending, and we're not talking about the protection of our children, and we're not talking about um, protection of our business, protection of our home, where nobody in the house is. What is the top priority of a lieutenant governor? The top priority of lieutenant governor is to make sure the governor vision comes to pass. Bottom line. Bottom line. It's not the vision of the lieutenant governor, it's the vision of the governor. that we have to make sure come to pass. And as your lieutenant governor, it is my job to work with the governor to help keep uh, the economy starting back up, to uh, to make sure that their agenda go forward. But it's also my priority, top priority, to make sure that the governor do exactly what the governor says for the people of Wisconsin. You know, because they're going around, they're campaigning, they're making promises to you guys, they're promising universal school choice, they're promising medical freedom, they're promising this stuff. Well, it's my job to make sure they keep their promise to the people. So my top priority is to make sure the governor's vision come to pass, but it also to make sure the governor keep his word to the people of Wisconsin. That's how I see it. So it's not about anything else. Everything else I do it because I have that time to influence and have build relationships with legislators, build relationships with business owners, build relationship with community, with people in the community, different groups in the community that's fighting for uh, human trafficking, medical freedom, CRT, and making sure that their concerns are being heard, as well as the farmers, that the farmers are being heard. So, you know, those are the things that a lieutenant governor should be doing um, while they're in office. So that's it right there. Any other questions? This is fun. What is the biggest surprise you had on the campaign trail? Wow. Um, that's interesting. Let's see. Uh, well, first I can say this: the biggest surprise for me, can I switch the word surprise to enjoyment? But the biggest surprise to me is, and the enjoyment is, um, watching people. Uh, Good evening, Ed. Watching people. Um, how should I say? Eyes light up because of they see hope now that there's an opportunity for a better Wisconsin. And as I go and as I talk to people in Wisconsin who had no hope, talking to them, see that they have hope. The biggest enjoyment that I had on the trail is when I get to pray for people and they get healed. I prayed for a gentleman who was sick in his body; he got healed. Yesterday, when I was at the Red Mouse, there was a lady there, and I was able to pray for her. And not only did she feel the presence of God and the Holy Spirit, but her fiance, who was standing behind her, was able to feel the presence of God and the Holy Spirit. So the enjoyment of allowing me to be me, be able to pray for people, be able to help people. Um, I was able to make phone calls for some that needed help. Um, you know, just being that servant and just watching people lives, their eyes light up because of there's hope and that and a lot of people that believe that Wisconsin can be better now. So that's it right there. The reception across the state, I would say, was the biggest surprise of knowing um, who it is and to have some people in almost every area of the state that I went to asked the one question that it kind of shocked me at the time and it blew my mind. And that question was, how come you didn't run for governor? And I'm sitting there like, are you serious? But a lot of people was asking that question. That was my biggest surprise when people would come up to me, how come you didn't run for governor? How come you didn't run for governor? And I'm like, what? So that was the biggest, that people was able to not just to see me in the office of lieutenant governor, but they could also see me in the office of governor. So that was an honor, a blessing, and I gave God all the praise because it's not me. Let's see. Well, I don't think that they don't want to build relationships at campaign events. You guys got to understand something. When we on the campaign trail, we would have to leave Jefferson County to go to Dane County, to leave Dane County to go to Calumet County, to go from Calumet County over to Wood County, and we got to hit all 4 counties, maybe sometimes 5 counties, and we only get 3 to 5 minutes to speak at those counties. So sometimes you got to hit it and quit it. And I don't want to really use that kind of phrase, but that's it. We don't have no choice. We're trying to hit the whole state. So we have to go into somewhere. I was at one place and we only had 90 seconds. 90 seconds to give a quick elevator speech. And it was not designed for candidates to speak, but because we showed up, they was like, well, we can only give you 90 seconds. So we do the 90 seconds and then you got to go. There was days that I had to drive 4 hours, 5 hours to get 5 minutes to speak. So and if you leave, it's not that you don't care about the people. Then I got to get on the road and drive 5 hours home. Sometimes I get tired and I got to pull in a rest stop, or I got to pull in a Quick Trip and park in front of the door of the Quick Trip just to take a nap so I can keep going, because I got other obligations that I got to do at home. So I can't stay on the road. I can't go get a hotel room, even though my wife say pull over and get a hotel room, but I can't, because you got to maximize your time. So it's not that candidates, and being a candidate, I can say this, it's not that candidates don't want to be a relationship. Sometimes we just got to bam, bam, and hit. We got to hit it and quit it. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. We got to go. Because you're in, and Jennifer is on here, who's my scheduler, and she would squeeze blood out of a turnip, but because her job is to get me across the state, and sometimes she pulling her hair out trying to get me across the whole state. But we gotta hit, we gotta go, 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 and it's that last stop where you say, okay, I can stay later. But you know how many Lincoln Day dinners we have to hit in a day? Reagan dinners in a day. Caucus in a day. Sometimes 3 congressional districts can have a caucus. Thank God, Pastor Steve German went to Dane County. What is Dane? I get screwed up with the numbers. But Pastor Steve German had to go to 1 caucus for me while I hit 2 caucus, because there was no way I was going to be able to hit all 3. And then when we get there, we got to figure out, we got to sit there and wait until they decide we can speak. And then the moment we speak, even though somebody want to talk to us, we can't talk because we got to get on the road. And the next caucus might be an hour away, 2 hours away, 3 hours away. So sometimes we can't build that relationship. That's why I do virtual meet and greets like this. So now we can take our time. You guys can ask questions, and you get to know me as a candidate and as a person better. So let me go to the next one. What would you like the legislator to pass a bill or change the Constitution to formalize the lieutenant governor duties? To be honest, nothing. Why? Again, it is because it's the office of influence. And in that office of influence, you can do so much dealing with social issues of the state of Wisconsin, while the governor dealing with the physical issue of the state of Wisconsin. So you can look good socially and physically. So I wouldn't want nothing. I love the way it is because you have an opportunity to make a better impact throughout the state for everybody, for veterans, for farmers, for business owners, for communities. I mean, it's so much you can do if you have a vision. But if you sit in that office and you ain't got a vision, then nothing. Then you're gonna be bored. Let me see to this one. Hold on, let me get back to where you were. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay, stop it. Okay. Yes, they're doing it to us right now. And the thing about it is this. The thing about it is this. When you focus on one thing, then they can get you from another angle. And so what we end up doing is this. We're focused on money. They always talking about taxes and wasteful spending. They're talking about removing the income tax. So let me talk about that for a minute. If we remove the income tax, what is going to replace? And everybody claps for it. Oh, yes, remove the income tax. But what's going to replace it? Sale tax going to go up. Property tax probably go up. Um, New fees is going to come on because you got to replace that money from somewhere. So where's that money going to come from? And yes, we have amazing farmers, and I learned a lot doing dairy breakfast. I my hat goes off to farmers, and I think everybody needs some time to switch roles and understand what farmers go through, what the Amish community go through, what city folks go through. I think it needs to so people understand. But I want to honor our farmers, and I want us to buy from our farmers. I want to make the farmers financially strong. I want the community to purchase their products from our farmers, not from out of state, but in state. That's how we strengthen our own economy by buying from ourselves. The Black community used to be strong, and the reason they used to be strong because we worked outside of our community, but the money was spent in our community. You see. Okay. Question: as you know, I am all about building relationship. How would you build those relationships with legislators to help push the new governor agenda in addition to any priority issue you want to advocate for? Well, see, that thank you for asking that. The problem we have is this. We don't know how to have a conversation. And we just love to blame people. We need to be able to, and me myself, I'll be able to just go and have a conversation, get to know them, let them get to know me, help with agendas, and being there. You know, there's some people that's already in office. They're not even running for reelection that I have already had conversation with on the Democrat side and on the Republican side, and they know my heart. They know that I am for the people of Wisconsin, and they know why the Republican Party as a whole beating the bass drum. I'm beating the snare, but just because I beat the snare, we can make beautiful music together with the bass and the snare. So just because I'm beating the snare doesn't mean I'm not on the team. I'm still on the same team. I just beat a snare drum and they beating a bass. But we can make harmony together. So I will build relationships. I will get them to understand me as well as me understanding them. I will make sure that again, my job is to make sure the governor's agenda go by, but at the same time, allowing the governor agenda go by, I will make sure I'll be able to get the things that I'm pushing for taken care of too. Without see, here's the thing about it: if you go in nasty, you're not gonna get anything. But if you go in respectful, if you go in respecting one another, if you go in being considerate of one another, then that's a different story. But you also got to be honest with people, and I'll let people know I can work with you. But if you don't do what you promise, if you don't do, then we're gonna have a problem, and then we might bump heads a couple of times, but it's okay to bump heads. This is America. It's okay to not agree on everything, and we're not going to agree on everything. It was 6 boys in our house. Do you really think me and all 6 of my brothers agreed on everything all the time? No. But we still loved each other. We still respected each other's opinion, and we found a common ground. And so, with me building relationships, I would start to find common ground. And finding common ground will allow us to work together. Now, our differences we can deal with later. Right now, let's find a common ground and let's come together and work that common ground. That's why I always have a saying, meet me in the middle and have a mind to work. If you meet me in that middle, we can have a mind to work, and then we can get some stuff done. But if we're pointing fingers at each other and throwing rocks, I grew up with a saying like this: he who live in a glass house should never throw a stone. So we got to stop throwing stones, and we got to find the common ground. What's the common ground? First of all, our children. That's the common ground. What's another common ground? Business. That's the common ground. What's another common ground? Parents' rights. That's the common ground. So when they do CRT, they're not just doing it on the Republican kids, they're doing it on the Democrats' kids too. When they start pushing social emotional learning, they're not just doing it to the Republican kids, they're doing it to the Democrats, the independents, the libertarian kids too. So, we got to find that common ground and let's work together. Let's build together because it's going to take everybody to build together. I'm trying to get down there. Y'all keep them coming. I love this. Y'all. Plead the fifth on what? I ain't pleading no fifth tonight. Okay, I don't know what that lots of hand sanitize mean, but y'all got an inside joke going on that I'm missing? Okay. Ed, tell the people what county you from. Jennifer, tell the people what county you from. Question: would you like the legislator to pass a bill or change the Constitution? Oh, we talked about that already. Okay, let me catch up. Oh no, I can handle loaded questions. I'm fun. I loved it. I'm here to be honest, open with everybody. So let's see. Okay, I didn't hear about the railroad workers strike. I didn't hear about that. I do know about the bill in California that are dealing with independent, yeah, 75. I thought it was 80,000 independent semi owners, owning operators are being attacked right now in California. I am connected to the truckers. I'm part of hold on, let me get the name because my mind was on something else, but you took me there. So I'm gonna get the name of them because I don't want to say it. Rolling for Freedom. I am part of Rolling for Freedom. Um, and they do also have a Rolling for Freedom website, and I have a section in there for Wisconsin. I just been so busy I haven't been putting anything in there, but I did hear about what they're doing in California, and there was truckers going back that way to help out those truckers because that will destroy 75, 80,000 independent semi truck drivers. Yes, that is crazy. And they doing that to crash the economy. They doing that. And so we got to prepare. We can't wait till it happens. we got to prepare for what's coming. And so if we sitting around thinking ain't nothing coming, and we sitting around, oh, we just gonna lower taxes. No, 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 no. We gotta prepare. And one thing that I love about the God that I serve, he always give us warning before destruction. He always show us a way out. Man's wisdom got us in this mess. It's going to take the wisdom of God to get us out of it. So we have to make sure that we're listening. We're listening, and we're making preparation. Hold on, let me see. I guess my expectations are high because of you. I've seen some who only want to talk about. Well, it's not. Well, you got to understand on the campaign trail, okay? Uh, you got to understand that you got people who walk by character, but then you got people who create an image. And a lot of politicians all over the country create images. And that's why so many people voted against Trump, because of bad image. They made a bad image of Trump. That's why a lot of blacks voted for John Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, John Kennedy, because what? They made a good image. They made him look really good. So image, when you vote for image, right? That the moment you vote, that image doesn't go into office. The real person go into office. So with me, I just give you who I am, and let you know this is what's going into office. This is not an image. This is everyday me. This is me 24/7. So that's why I am who I am. And so it's not I don't do an image. Kelly, I don't know why you telling her great job, because I don't trust y'all no more. Because I know y'all. Oh, my question came twice. Yeah, you think you slick. I got it. Well, have to listen to all the candidates several times and it appears that you're the only one with a real vision. Well, let, let me say it like this when it comes to that. Ed used to say it all the time. Ed says it all the time. And I'm gonna give Ed his props. Most candidates only runs off of whatever the hottest or the latest issue, and they pick it up and they run with it because they know that's what you guys want. So they run with that. And Ed used to say it all the time. Well, what about the economy? Or what about this? Or what about that? Or what about this? And so a lot of people don't have, because they're only running on an issue. Hey, Ed, how do you say it? A one pony show. So they run on that. And so when people just run on that, then that's how messed up it becomes. So the Bible also teaches me, without a vision, the people perish. So if we don't have no vision, then the people perish. So we got to have a vision so the people can survive. Let's see. We have to spend money. We have to go and support them. And you know what? I think sometimes we need to take our youth out of the inner city, let them experience the life on a dairy farm. Let them experience it. There was a time where the judge, and I wish I would have knew this back then about the dairy, that I mean that I had a relationship with dairy farmers back then, because judges used to send me people that had to do community service. If I had connection with dairy farmers at that time, I would have took those community service hours and make them work it out on the dairy farm. Make them appreciate a glass of milk. Make them appreciate eggs. Make them appreciate. See, you don't appreciate nothing until you go through something, And so I would have took all of those community hours and put them out on the dairy farm. The dairy farmers are having the same problem as business owners. They can't find laborers. So I would took those community service time that they needed to do, and I would have put them on a dairy farm if I was connected to one at that time. Okay. Manipulation influence is a cancer. Look no further than what David has done in Milwaukee. Those of us that know the real David King from experience down here are sick to our stomach. This man is not who he say he is. He is or portray himself to be. This man is a false prophet. Wow, I wonder which person is this who's saying this. Sandy Blake. It's a Sandy Blake. Now, that is so interesting, Sandy, that you're saying this. So I wonder who really Sandy is. So let's look up Sandy Blake to find out who Sandy is that is saying all of this beautiful stuff about me. That is so good. I am so glad that we finally got somebody on here. Okay, let's see which one it says better truth. So apparently Sandy Blake is in Wapaka right now. She lives in Wapaka. She went to Wapaka High School. Sandy Blake, let me see. Sandy Blake. Uh, she she's over at the Stevens Point Harvest. So can this means that Sandy Blake is with a gentleman who's trying to say this? And wow, you're not even from Milwaukee? That's interesting, Sandy. That's interesting. And they just her first post was July the 3rd. So now, oh, and they're friends with Amber. Hey, Rustin, ask your wife, do she know a Sandy Blake? And she's also friends with Mike is always right. So, so technically we know where this is coming from. And I'm so glad this person is on here because this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Manipulation, influence, not me at all. One thing that I love to say is this. Uh, let me see. Pastor Sheena, I saw you on here earlier. Are you on here, Pastor Sheena? Are you still with us? Uh, let me see who else. Uh, Sterling, are you on here? I need somebody real from Milwaukee on here. This person is from Wapaka. This person is in the Stevens Point area. So this person is connected to the one that tried to attack us last time, but it didn't work. So we already know who this is. His name doesn't even need to be mentioned. So, but I love this kind of stuff because this doesn't offend me. This stuff doesn't offend me. I got tough skin, but I like what you're saying though. But you call me a false prophet. That is interesting. So let's keep going. Let's see. That's great. 6 boys, 6 girls in my family. I'm the youngest of 7. I have one brother. Indeed, we need. Yes, we gotta have parental rights. Yeah, we know that one. I'm so glad I got people on here can do homework. Uh, but you know what? We have to have parental rights back. We have to have people working together. We have to have people doing things um that would be how should I say this? We can't move a country if we're in a tug of war. Shaking hands. Yes, a lot of sanitize on shaking hands. If you had a tug of war, it's never going to happen. We got to come together for the common goods of everybody. And the thing about it is this. I'm gonna go back to this right here. This right here. This is not because see the Democrats. Let me share something with you guys. Can't nobody deny my work in Milwaukee. Even the Democrats recognize my work in Milwaukee. The Democrats send their family members to me to get jobs. But this person never did their homework. So we already know who this person is. We already know where this person come from. Nice try. Now, let's go back to talking about working together. See, the problem with is working together is this. There's a thing that's called give and take. And you can give and you can take without compromising your morals, your principles. You there's a time where we got to give and take. Because here's the thing about it. If we meet in the middle, somebody's idea might be better than yours. And you got to have enough, you have to have enough maturity to say, you know what, you got the better idea. Let's try it your way. And we got to be able to do that and not just ride on our own ideas. So, yep, shaking hands. Wow. All right. Because you do a lot of shaking hands. Thank God for sanitizer and thank God for herbs. So keep your body wondering who's your favorite governor would be. Y'all think y'all slick? Nah, 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 nah. All I'm gonna say is this: I like all three of them. I know them all personally. I like them all. I can work with any one of them. So, Laura, I hope that answered your question. I like all of them, all three of them. Oh, I'm sorry, it's four of them in the race, and I know all four. But I can work with anybody. Like I said, I am a man in authority, but I know how to be a man under authority. So I like them all. I like them all, but I can work with any one of them. See, this time I didn't use the fifth because somebody was waiting on me to say I plead the fifth. No, I ain't gonna plead the fifth. I'll leave it like that. Well, it all depends on what you mean by that, Russ. Um, because in '08, '09, I fought against global warming and cap and trade because they wanted to control your heat. And those of you that's in Wood County, Portage County, you up in Pippin, if the government would have got control of your heat and you would have to call somebody in Florida or California and tell them to turn up your heat and they tell you you use too much energy already, that wouldn't have been a good thing. So you got to go a little. What do you mean by that? Because the solar panel. I have a friend that has stock in solar panel, and it said it was doing more pollution making the panels than anything. So I'm hearing that there's leaks in those those big wind projectors. So it all depends on what you mean by that. I mean, I can just say that. What do you think your strongest quality for lieutenant governor? Okay. Oof. My strongest, I'll say my ability to adapt when pressure comes. I never fold under pressure. Matter of fact, I get excited when pressure comes. That's why that's why even though that person made that comment, I put it up there. I love confrontation. I'm a man of confrontation. My ability to bring people together, my ability to understand and how to listen. There's a book that me and my wife got that we read. Let me see if it's in here. no, it's not in here, but it's called Critical Conversations. So we're learning to be more able to communicate with everybody. So we learn critical conversations. I'm reading another book called 65 Principles, Wisdom Principles of being a believer and being in government. So I'm listening to different speakers, uh, Thomas Sowell, Walter Williams. I'm listening to different scientists. I'm listening to, so I'm making sure. I think my strongest quality is I never stop learning. The moment you stop learning, you're in trouble. So as a lieutenant governor, I can learn. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know, but I will go get the answer. I would dig in and dig in and dig in until I get the answer. One of the things I told my church during the pandemic was, I'm not going to tell you something. I will give you the information and then you go look it up yourself. Um, also one of my biggest, strongest thing is I love to empower the people. I don't want to be the one do it for you. I want to be able to get you the door open that you can do it yourself. So I'm all about empowering the people. And one of my, I don't want to call it a weakness, but I have a takeover spirit. I have God created me to have dominion, and I literally walk in that. If I see something ain't getting done, I jump in right. I jump in it right myself, and I try to get it done. When and that's just how I am. It's something about me. I just love taking over. I love just going in and getting it done. I don't like a lot of excuses. Matter of fact, the people in the congregation tell you, don't give him an excuse, because I have a saying like this: do not invite me to a pity party, because I'm not coming, and I won't bring a cake. I don't believe in pity parties. I will help you. I will strengthen you. I will build you up, and I'll tell you to move on. Because nothing get done with tears. You got to get up and get it done. So my biggest thing is I love empowering people. I love giving out information, because information is knowledge. So my strongest, I can be that adapter. I can adapt to anything. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. What are you saying? I have decided today to stop talking about what other candidates are and not doing, focus on solutions, not create more problems. I would say it's easier to fall into the drama game. Well, Ed, I mean, not Ed, Russ, it could be, but I have a saying: feed your focus, starve your distraction. And if we feed our focus and starve our distraction, it ain't going to go nowhere. But what I also understand is this: sometimes you have to address and deal with distraction, because sometimes people do things, and if you don't say nothing, they'll keep doing them. And if you don't say nothing, they'll keep doing them. So sometimes you got to say some things to address and deal with some things so it can be done with. And once you deal with it, you leave it alone. Because one of the phrases my mom used to always tell me, she said, a fool cannot argue by themselves. So if you are dealing with it, if you stop, it'll go away. But the more you feed it, it's going to stay. Okay. Do you need a referral for an image consultant? No, sir. No. My character doesn't need a consultant. I'm sorry. Thank you though. But my character speak for itself. That's the problem. That's why, why I put my character out here? Let me say this. You know why, you guys, I put my character out here? You know why, guys, I told y'all from the beginning, if you look me up, what you would find is that you was going to find some back child support, because my ex-wife, I owe her. And I'm not ashamed to say that, is because of one thing. When you, and I teach this, when you are not ashamed of where you come from, and you are uh, knowing you're going to be in the public eye, it is when you tell it, and it's out there, they don't have anything. But if you never tell it and they try to go find something and then they tell it, then oh my God, it's everything. That's why when people try to tell about the about my back child support, I love one lady, Patty. I don't know if Patty's on here, but when they called Patty to talk about it, Patty said he told us that already. Now what? So when you have character, you would tell things, and you move on. Every last one of us on this live got a pass. Every one of us on this live done something in our life that we're not proud of. Everybody on this live cannot say they was born with the Holy Ghost and they lived a perfect life. So everybody can't say that. If you're looking for somebody with a perfect life, I'm sorry, but he's sitting on the right hand of the Father right now. So nobody had a perfect life, but I'm not ashamed of where I come from, and I'm excited where God has me because of the things that he has me doing. Okay, I ain't studying you. I don't know what that means. Well, we don't know who that person is. Uh, no, we don't care about that person. Yeah, I will be up there. Okay, so we're not focused on him or anybody else today. Let's see. I have been all over Milwaukee with Dr. King, and I didn't see anyone sick who are well known. You are well known and loved in your community. Oh yeah, we know that. We know that. I mean, y'all seen it when I did the barbershop. When I did the barbershop real talk, you know, that's why I don't have to answer certain things, because I already know that person is somewhere they're not from Milwaukee. So those things I don't have to worry about. Good evening, Patty. How you doing tonight? Let's see. How can we fight this title? Well, okay, let's go back to where it began. We know it began with Race to the Top, no child left behind, and then Common Core came in. Governor Evers took money for Common Core before he even saw the curriculum. So he took Common Core even before he saw the curriculum. Wisconsin is a strong state. We take federal dollars because we're greedy. We don't need the federal dollars to get done anything that we need to get done in our education system. If we would take a bold step, it's just like your household. If it get tight in your house, you'll say, okay, which gonna go? Cable or internet? Well, I need the cable for my job. I really don't watch TV. Simple. Turn off the cable, keep the internet to do the job. We take federal funding knowing it's going to come with strings attached, knowing it's going to push their agenda. So what end up happening is if you want to stop the agenda, you got to stop taking the money. You stop taking the money, the agenda is gone. Because now it's an in-house and you fix it from the inside. You would never fix it from the outside. You got to fix it from the inside. So all we got to do is tell the Department of Education, I'm sorry, thank you, but we don't want no more money from you. We're not going to go along with your agenda. And now we're going to fix it. We're going to fix our school system. We're not going to talk to our children about sex. We're going to let parents talk to their children about sex. We're not going to talk gender. God brought when you was birthed, you was a girl, you're a girl. When you were birthed, you was a boy, you was a boy. Now, here's the thing about it. Some, like the city of Milwaukee, they made a law that if your child is confused, you cannot take them to a counselor on the inside of Milwaukee. So now you got to take your child outside of Milwaukee to get them the help they need because they're confused. Why is they confused? Because of all the crap they're doing in school, all the crap they're doing on TV, all the crap they're doing on the internet. And so, yes, your children is going to be confused. So we gotta guard our children' eyes on what they see and guard their ears until they get a foundation where they understand the difference. Because if they don't, as a young age, they don't understand. So we're allowing them to attack them that young. So when they get a little older, and and you have already installed that in them, when they get a little older, they can withstand some stuff. But at a young age, K4, K5, first, second, third grade, their mind is just now developing. So we allow them to confuse them now, then we're gonna lose 4 generations. So we have to intercept it. We got to cut the cancer off. We got to kill the cancer or the snake, but you got to cut the snake off at the head. You got to say we're going to get rid of the federal dollars and do it from a state level. Oof, what is my biggest weakness? Hmm, interesting. My biggest weakness is my heart. I care about everybody. That's my biggest weakness. Because sometimes your heart gets in the way from you doing some things, even though you know. So sometimes my heart is my biggest weakness. How will I manage my heart? By focusing on my duties, what I got to get done. And I did that in managing. I will help anybody. But there was a time I had to put my foot down. And I sympathized with what they was going through, but at the same decision, I had to make an executive decision, and I did it. Um, I give an example. It was a gentleman. He came into one of my programs, and he always came late, and he always came late. And at first, I was just letting him slide, feeling sorry for him, letting him slide, letting him slide, letting him slide. Then I had to make an executive decision. And I said to him, "You got to go. You can't come back." So he left, but he came back the next day. He said, "Can I talk to you?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "Why you put me out?" I said, "I can't deal with your excuses anymore." He said, "But it ain't me. It's Lyft and Uber that's getting me late." I said, "Uber and Lyft only comes when you call. Maybe you calling too late." I said, "So if you want back in, you got to throw away every excuse. And you need to be on time from this day forward. If I let you back in, you have to commit to me." And he committed, and I let him back in. He was never late again. So my heart, even though I had compassion, I was crippling him by allowing him to give me a bunch of excuses. But the moment I focused on my duties and had to make that decision, it helped him to be responsible for his own actions. So my biggest one, I would say, my heart. Hold on, let me catch up with you, guy. Uh, thank you, sir. I'm trying to catch up. There she go. She got a glass of wine. Uh, yep, federal dollars always come with attachment. Well, I tell you this: under my watch, the pride flag would never fly over the state capitol under my watch. Not under my watch. It has no business flying on the capitol. The state of Wisconsin flag, The United States of America flag and the POW flag should be the only three flags flying over our state capital. And I would do everything in my power to make sure it does not fly, even if I have to go to battle with anybody, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And I want to do what's right for the people. So this is what I stand for. I'm not saying it for somebody to like me. I'm just saying it because I'm real at what I stand for and everything like that. Well, you know, I'm not really concerned about federal dollars right now. I mean, that's something that we're gonna have to sit down and we really gotta discuss some things on what they're doing, how they doing it. We all know how they're doing it. I worked it and when I was in corporate America, there was a lot of time when it was time for budget uh to be done. One of the things we did, we blew certain things. We blew labor. We blew inventory because we needed another percentage or another 2% for the next year. So you know, so we know the games that they're playing. We just got to hold them accountable. I would try to be quick. Have you heard about the Line 5 relocation project? About 280,000 homes in northern Wisconsin in upper position heat their homes with propane. Okay, hold on. Let me go and see it. Okay, one thing I hate is injustice. I hate bullying. I hate all of that. So I will make sure um, I will do everything in my power to make sure it get approved. I will be your advocate. I will come up and meet with all of those residents and that we can sit down, we can talk, and then I can, and that's why I said the lieutenant governor job is the job of influence. I can come up to the northern part, sit down with everybody, and take back to the governor, to the legislature, after building relationship with them, and say this is what they're dealing with, and we got to do something about this. So, but if you don't have that person in there that's advocating for the people, not for lobbyists, not special interests or anything like that, for the people. So these kind of things I love to talk about. I love when people let me know, so that way we can sit down, we can figure out a great game plan, and then go to the governor, go to the legislators, and get the help that people need. Because you guys are hiring me to be there for you. So I want to make sure that I am there for you guys. Well, thank you. Let's see. Yep, it doesn't have anything to do with it. And when we allow people to just, if that's the case, what you gonna put up there next? Black Lives Matter. Uh, what else you gonna put up there? So no, three flags. That's it. And we need to leave it alone after that. Nothing else needs to be up there. So wow, whew, it's been 2 hours already. This is amazing. This is amazing. I do want you guys. Yeah, I know. I know. And nobody's saying nothing. Not no elected official are saying anything. Well, you ain't got to worry about Wisconsin doing anything that California is doing. But I tell you guys this, I can say it this way. This election is so important. And I know everybody say all elections are so important. But let me say it like this. If you guys think about it this way, can you deal with and survive 4 more 4 more years of Tony Evers? Because if we don't put the right candidates up there, if we don't put the right team together to go out and fight the Democrats in this election cycle, and we lose, they're going to move fast to get a lot of crap done that's going to hinder us, that's going to destroy us, that's going to mess us up as a household, our children. So we need fighters right now. We don't need nobody nice right now. Oh yeah. So we have to make sure this August, August 9th says more than anything November 8th would say. August 9th will decide the direction of our state. August 9th will decide the direction of our state. Hear me out. If we don't put the right people up in August and we lose in November, we're in trouble. So we have to make sure that we put the right team together to go up against the Democrats. And we got to make sure we got the right message. We can't just go with any message. We got to go with the right message. And we got to be able to deliver that message, that message resonate with moderate Democrats, independents, libertarians, Green Party. We have to make sure, because here's the thing about it. It would never, ever, never, ever, never, ever will we have this chance again. We have to come together. We have to unite. We got to stop this nonsense. If my candidate don't win the primary, I'm not voting. Then you are causing Evers 4 more years. And you're the ones that are going to allow the Democrats to do damage to the people of Wisconsin. And here's the sad part about it. The people that says they're not going to vote have children. So your children's future doesn't mean that much to you that you would give Evers 4 more years? Some of them have businesses. You mean to tell me your business doesn't mean that much to you that you are willing to give Evers 4 more years? Are we really willing to give Evers 4 more years because the person I like and that person you like might not be qualified to get the job done? So you rather give Evers 4 more years? And you got children? You got a business? You sick of the school system? So what you're telling me then, watch this. What you're telling me is all the fighting we did in 2020, the medical freedom rallies, the Unmask Our Children rallies, the CRT rallies. Okay, I'm gonna answer that one. That's a good question. The CRT rallies. So you got all of these people that been out there fighting, been out there talking about our freedom, our constitutional rights, and all of that. And you rather make all of that fighting, all of that work that we done in 2020, going to the state capitol, doing rallies, doing church service on the state capitol, going downtown Milwaukee, going to Sheboygan, Manitowoc, and all these other places that we protest in and Whitelaw, Wisconsin, and you're trying to tell me all of that work is going to be in vain because a person you like didn't get in office? Then the question comes, were you sent by the Democrats to come in and break us up? That we are not united? Wow. People in our area have Eva signs, Mandela Barn for Senate signs. What should we tell them? That's a good question. The question that I'll say to you to talk to them about their children. That's why we should talk about the economy, their business, if they are a business owner. Some of them are feeling the same pain that, I mean, everybody's feeling the same pain, whether you're Democrat or Republican. Find the common ground that you can have a nice conversation without them being on the offense because they have an Eva signs or Mandela Barn signs. Or get the conversation starting good. Take one of my signs and put it in your yard because I'm going to tell you why. If they for Black Lives Matter, put the black face on your yard and then have a conversation. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that would probably be a good idea. But because most people across the state that are Democrats and liberals, when they see me at parades or anything like that, they automatically think I'm a Democrat. So, so take one of my signs. That might start a conversation. And they'll probably ask you, when did you start supporting a Democrat? Okay, we will make sure you get a sign. But just to have that conversation, everybody's going to always, you know what? I tell you what I do in Milwaukee, right? I go around and I'm talking to people, and you know how I start the conversation with Democrats? I say, both sides let us down. And then they say, you know what? You're right. Now we can go into the conversation. But we can't go into conversation just blaming the Democrat Party. You gotta bring them to the middle. So you say, okay, both sides messed us up. Now we're at the middle. Now let's come together and figure out what can we do. Okay, let's see. And you know what? I was in Mount Hor. I was there for the CRT event with Dr. Duke Pestle, myself, and the ladies of Wolf and Kim. I don't know the group that they call. Kim gonna bust my head, but I don't know the name of the group that put it on. But me and Dr. Duke Pestle was there, and a lot of people. When we got out there, the LGBTQ plus was outside protesting. Some came on the inside. Some teachers came on the inside. But after I got through talking, I had both sides raise their hand because I said this. I said, can we sit down for a cup of coffee for the common good of our children? Who would be willing to sit down? And both sides raised their hand. And I said, look across the room because it's about the children. Everybody say they love the children. Look across the room. Pick somebody to have coffee with because that's the neutral ground, the children. Find that neutral ground and you will be able to have a conversation with them. That neutral ground. If you don't just start off, well, the Democrats this and da 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 da. No, find the neutral ground. Start off by saying both sides because we didn't get in this condition just because of the Democrat Party. We got in this because of both parties. We have to be honest with ourselves. Our side did not stand up and fight. Our side didn't have any backbones. Our side did not do what should have been done. And we got to be able to have those conversations. I give you a perfect example. I was on the radio, on a liberal radio station, the Republican Party of Milwaukee. No, the state Republican State Party has a show on a liberal radio station, and they invited me on that show. And I got on the show. We talked about me running for lieutenant governor. I shared my vision. I shared some things, and I shared some things. And when I shared the things, my vision and everything, I said both sides let us down. I said some things, and one of my biggest advocate in the Milwaukee County is a gentleman, 70 years old, who has a lot of influence in the Milwaukee, business owner, um, hunter, fisher. So he connects with everybody. And after he heard that, he wanted to have coffee. And he's a Democrat. And he's going around introducing me to people, telling them, y'all need to hear him speak. He would call me up and I'll just stop and I'll go and meet with them and share my vision. And they were like, wow, first of all, we never had a candidate stop what they're doing to come to meet with us. Secondly, you sitting here telling us your vision and you don't know if we Democrat, Republican, whatever. And I said, it's not about that. It's about our children's future. It's about business owners who all suffered and everything. And guess what happened? They are now helping me in my campaign. So we can do it. We just got to get to the place where we're willing to have that coffee. See, and just have conversations about our children. You don't even have to have a conversation about Democrat or Republican. Just have a conversation about what y'all love. Y'all garden together. You can talk about how food is going. And I'm so glad you're next to me um, planning food because we all going to have to eat no matter who's in charge. If they don't do the right thing for us, then there's going to be a shortage on food. So I'm so glad we're here as neighbors growing food together. Those are the things that we have to come up with. And those are the conversations, that you got to have and everything. And say, hey, listen, I need you to listen to this person. Just tell me your honest opinion. Tell me what you think. And they'd be like, oh my God, I kind of agree with that person. Because my message is for the people and it's about the people. If you notice, my message is not about the Republican Party. My message is about the people and the condition that our lives is in, the economy, our farmers, our business owners, our children, the crime system. So it has to be like that, you guys. Our message got to resonate with everybody. And when it does that, then people find out we got true people that really care about us. And I'm about caring about the people. I'm not in high school anymore trying to win a popularity contest. And I'll be honest, to get stuff done, sometimes you might not like my method, but I guarantee you're going to love the results. And so this is why we have to do the things that we're doing. This is why we have to be versatile and we got to be willing because one person don't have all the answers, but it takes all of us to come together and work together. It takes all of us to make sure that we're doing what's right for each other and for the people of Wisconsin, and that when it's time that the good Lord, our Heavenly Father, call us home, that we pass the baton to our children in a better condition that it is right now. We cannot leave and leave it in the mess that it's in. We have to make it better for our children, our grandchildren, and great grandchildren, and even great great grandchildren. We got to have it ready for the next four generation. Our job is to remove some stuff, rebuild the foundation. And if there's cracks in the foundation, we got to seal up those cracks so that way we can move it up. I haven't done in a while. Um, but I have. Um, Sometimes I get mad because it's like they there, but they not there, and they giving you a look like I wish y'all hurry up so I can go. You know, but I believe there's a lot of elected official who has the right attention, but they are hindered from doing what's right. And I think it's time that we support those that want to do the right thing and let them know if whatever happens, we got your back. Stand up for what you believe in. We'll fight with you. That's just like me as your lieutenant governor. When I stand up to fight for you guys and I look back, I expect to see you guys back there cheering me on and ready to fight with me. I don't want you to send me and leave me because it's going to take all of us to do this. It's going to take all of us. And I humbly, with humility, ask you guys to vote for me so I can fight for you. I am the one that can get it done for you. I'm not going to use what everybody uses. I'm the only one. I'm not going to do all that. But I'm the one that can get it done. I'm the one that has no problem taking heat. Leaders supposed to take the heat. Leaders supposed to be the example. That's what a leader does. A leader take the heat. When I was in corporate America and one of my managers messed up, I took the heat. I'll be like, I did it. I'll take it. Well, they did it. I know, but I'm their leader. I'm responsible. I will take it. That's what we need right now. We need true leadership in office. True leadership. And now we have had leadership. We have some good leadership, but we really haven't had true leadership. No, um, let's see. Let me do this one first. No, I would not have boxing gloves and a boxing bag in my office. What I would have is my worship music. So anytime anybody come visit me in the state capitol, you're gonna hear my worship music. You're gonna hear worship. You might hear a sermon because I can work listening to sermons. I can work worshiping. So you're gonna hear worship music in there, and um, you're going to hear sermons or motivational speaking or whatever. Uh, but I wouldn't need a punching bag. I would just have worship music. Yes, truthful leadership. That's another what we need. So let me tell you guys what my order business is. We done did 2 hours. Um, we're about to cut off in a minute, but let me tell you guys what my first order of business after being sworn in going to be. I'm going to ask the state. I'm going to ask the state, every person in the state that can and will, to go on a 3-day fast with me. On the third day, I'm going to ask you to meet me in the rotunda. We're going to have worship and prayer. We're going to ask God to forgive us And we're going to ask God to be Lord over Wisconsin again. That's my first order of business. We got to put God back in his rightful place. And putting God back in his rightful place don't mean I'm going to be walking down the halls of the Capitol with a Bible in my hand, preaching turn or burn. No, but we need the influence of God, the glory of God. That word glory means influence. So we need the influence of God in Wisconsin. We need the influence of God in Dane County, Milwaukee County, and every other county. We need the influence of God because that's how we turn things around. Our founding fathers had the glory of God. They had the influence of God going on. That's why we became a great nation. And then we moved God out of everything and we became a fallen nation. So we have to put God back in his rightful place. So that's the first order of business. And then I will ask God to give me the wisdom to get that DPI race moved. Give me the wisdom to get the parents their rights back. Give me the wisdom on how to help the people prepare just in case there's a shortage. Give me the wisdom. See, without the wisdom of God, we can't come out of nothing. Without the wisdom of God. And so this is how we get it done. This is how we get it done. So, any last questions or comments before we take off? Well, okay, we can compromise. All you can eat dinner later. We'll go to all you can eat. We'll take you to Golden Corral somewhere and you can eat. So afterwards, though. But you guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on and and uh, being a part of this a meet and greet. I will be doing another one probably next weekend. I got to check my schedule because my scheduler. I really believe we got to deliver her from that demon of making me run. I think she get excited making me run. I think she get excited uh, having me go all over the place. No, I'm just joking, but I will check my schedule because I like doing these. And I thank you guys from all over, ladies and gentlemen, from all over the state that came on today. Fasting is great to get closer to God. Besides, I need to lose a few pounds. We need God back as the radical left wants to take that away. So I hope I get you guys vote. I hope you guys will tell your friends and family members who might be on the fence that you have found a candidate that is genuine, a candidate that is real, a candidate that will stand up and represent the people of Wisconsin and not just a party. So, again, I want to thank you guys for coming on. I love each and every one of you. What you see is what you get. And I even want to thank the person that came on with their sarcastic remarks and everything. I thank you for coming on as well, because when you have character, you don't have to worry about anything what somebody says that be lying. But I thank you because you had people research you while you was online, and that's why you never said anything else. But we love you too. We might not like your ways, but we love you with the love of God. So I thank you guys again for being with me on this. We got 3 weeks to go. Let's get as many people as we can out to vote for Dr. David King as your next lieutenant governor, and let's go and take our state back. This is Dr. David King. I am your next Lieutenant Governor. God bless and goodbye.